Maybe one of the most common questions I get from people who are working a 9 to 5 or a traditional job is how do you actually make that leap from employee to entrepreneur? And the first thing is it usually doesn't happen in one leap. So Robert Kiyosaki talks about the cash flow quadrant, and it's the idea of moving from employee to self-employed, and then really where the magic happens is moving over into business owner and investor. And that is the hardest part. Most people when they leave their job and start their own business are actually just becoming self-employed. And when they're becoming self-employed, they took all the best parts of their previous job and added all the worst parts of their previous job. So you did the thing that you're an expert in, but you had another person's company to provide stability and provide structure and back office and all the other things. And you got rid of all the stability and said, I'm self-employed now. And sometimes you see a small increase in compensation immediately because you're not sharing all the money from the contract with other people in the office. But you've also massively increased what you have to do. Right? You now handle everything. You wear every hat in the business. And this is probably the biggest trap in America, is the idea that being self-employed is freedom. Because if you don't ever transition into business owner, you're stuck. And now you've got you're hiring yourself to do a job that you were doing with some stability before. So what the big trick is, if you're trying to make the leap from being an employee into being an entrepreneur or a business owner or investor, is to understand that there's more to being an entrepreneur than just the task you were doing in the previous job. So hypothetically, let's say that you do insurance sales and you want to then start an insurance company. And the first thing you do is you get your license, you go get set up with a couple of companies to broker, and then now you just go out and you start hustling on your own. Well, if all you're doing is selling as an individual, you're just self-employed. You're doing the exact same thing you were doing previously, but with greater risk. What you need to do is be able to understand, okay, what's my marketing mechanism? What automations do I need in my business? What team members do I need to hire? What needs to happen in my business for me to be able to take a vacation and my business actually grow and thrive without me? Not just survive, but keep growing. And so if you're thinking like an entrepreneur and not just someone who's self-employed, you're realizing that your business has to be better than you. Your business has to be able to grow even without you being there. And so if you can do that, if you can understand, okay, I need to put people, processes, and resources in place so that the business can grow even without me, then you're a business owner and you're at the beginning of freedom. So the question of how to make that leap is beginning with the end in mind, knowing that you've got to do that, recognizing where your weaknesses are, and either hiring to those weaknesses or learning how to fix them, right? Being humble, studying, researching, connecting, finding mentors. But the number one thing more than anything else is learning how to sell, learning how to market. If you can't market, you can't get new customers faster than you're losing customers, it's destined to fail from the beginning.